What's up, my Central Unit? It's the Central Man here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. By the time this review is out, Backlash 2020 is just around the corner. It's just 24 hours to go. So in this installment, I'm going to review Backlash 2004 at the Roxall Place, or right now it's called the Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. This is the first Backlash pay-per-view outside the United States on the 18th of April 2004. This is the first pay-per-view after WrestleMania 20. The attendance for the show is 13,000, and the buy rate for Backlash 04 is a 320,000 pay-per-view buys. It's a kind of decrease from the 2003 installment of Backlash, because the 2003 Backlash pay-per-view buy rate was a 345,000 buy rate, because the main event of Backlash 03 was The Rock versus Goldberg in Goldberg's first match in WWE. Fast forward 1 year, Goldberg was no longer in the company, quit the company after his really bad match with Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 20. Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. So the first match to kick off Backlash 04, we got Ric Flair, one half of the World's Tag Team Championships, and one half of Evolution, taking on Shelton Benjamin. Yeah, this was no build, because, and then by the way, this was the first pay-per-view after the 2004 draft. Shelton Benjamin was drafted to Raw. Basically, they broke up the world's greatest tag teams, that is, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. And really, the weeks before this show, Shelton Benjamin was on a winning roll. He's beat Triple H, not once but twice. He beat him clean and beat him on the countout. So, it's a good winning start for Shelton Benjamin's career on Raw. In this match, this was a shocking decent match between Shelton Benjamin and Ric Flair. Ric Flair does the whole stuff, poking Shelton Benjamin in the eye, and a little bulk of the match, you had Flair locking in the really working on the leg, and locking Shelton in the figure four leg lock. In the end, Flair was going for brass knuckles. He was about to wear some brass knuckles, trying to hit Shelton Benjamin with it, but Benjamin hit like a stinger splash onto Flair, and the brass knuckles fell out of his hand. Hit like a flying clothesline to win this match. Yeah, it was a really good match between Benjamin and Flair. Ric Flair at this point was kind of like past his prime. He was in his 50s, but elusive Benjamin carried him to a good match. Next match, we got Tajiri versus the Coach, that is Jonathan Coachman. Why they put this on a pay-per-view, I don't know why, because the last review I did was Bad Blood 03, the first brand-only pay-per-view in WWE history. Like I said, doing these brand-only pay-per-views, not just in the first brand extension, but in the second brand extension, flopped. The reason why, because the roster in both Raw and SmackDown was not deep enough to, to perform some good undercard matches. That's the reason why, some of the matches are not really pay-per-view worthy matches. This is the matches you probably see on Raw, SmackDown, Heat, or Velocity. This match should be on Raw, not on a pay-per-view that people spend a lot of money. Yeah, the build up to this, basically had Tajiri kind of spit green mist in the face of the Coach. And this was in a locker room. Basically, it was self-proclaimed a prank. Tajiri pranked the Coach, and then, the Coach cost Tajiri in a match against Christian. This is set up this match on the show. The Coach is not a good wrestler, man. Jonathan Coachman, he's a former ring interviewer, a future commentator, but at this moment in the Coach's career in WWE, he was more like a personality on WWE television. Like the bulks of the match, basically the Coach was kind of working on the leg and the knee of Tajiri, because Tajiri was about going for like a buzzsaw kick. It's basically a roundhouse kick. Coach got out of the way, he kind of smacked his leg in the ring post, and that led to, the Coach working on the leg. In the end, he had Garrison Cade, the future Lance Cade, interfere, cheap shot Tajiri, the Coach did the roll up, and the coach got the victory. It was just, why they did, like I said, why you put this on the pay-per-view that people spend a lot of money. Yeah, like I said, this match should be on Raw, or Velocity, or, actually Velocity, that was a SmackDown show. Heat was more like the Monday Night Raw show. The pay-per-view before, the show before that pay-per-view. I wish they'd bring back Heat. Instead of doing kickoff show matches, Anyway, so the next match, we got a handicap match between Chris Jericho versus Christian and Trish Stratus. This rivalry took place, in the beginning of 03. Or really, I think it's 03, not beginning of 03, but I think it was late 2003, early 2004. Basically, like, Christian and Jericho did a bet who will bang. They bang, trying to have sex with both Trish and Leah. Bet $1 Canadian. And then at this time, Trish found out, and then they kind of developed feelings between Jericho and Trish Stratus, and then Christian's basically, thought Trish is ending the friendship, but they had Christian attack Jericho, attacking Trish, locking Trish in the walls of Jericho, set up the match at WrestleMania 20. Trish turned on Jericho at WrestleMania 20, let Christian get that win, and set up this relationship, kayfabe relationship between Trish and Christian. And, there's a funny part on Raw, and, Trish says she is the, three-time Babe of the Year, and Jericho says, is the pig from Babe in the City? Basically, and also Jericho called Trish a trash bag whore. Basically called her a whore or a hoe. Yeah, Trish, I don't like, some people don't really see Trish Stratus as a slut. She's a classy woman. Yeah, she did some stuff in the Attitude Era, when, showing her tits out, people don't see her as a slut. People more see Stephanie as a slut in the Attitude Era. I bet some people see Paige as a slut. Not Hangman Page or Diamond Dallas Page, but not Paige Knight. People see Paige as a slut. And then fast forward in 2005, people say Lita is a slut. So anyway, this match was fun between Jericho, Christian, and Trish. 3 Canadians. This is in Canada. 3 good workers. One of the best 3 good workers of all time. The funny part, Jericho spanking Trish. That was funny. I think Jericho kicked out of the Prettier. Basically, Christian's finisher. Right now it's called the kill switch, but, it's on Prettier. Why they changed that move, I don't know why. Anyway, I think Jericho kicked out for that. In the end, I think Jericho was going for the Walls of Jericho, but instead instead of doing the Walls of Jericho, tapping out Christian, he kind of slingshot Christian into the corner with Trish. Trish got knocked out. Jericho hit the Enziguri onto Christian to win this match. Basically, Jericho got his win back. And this rivalry continued until the rest of the summer of 04. They had a ladder match. I think ladder match, steel cage match, and introducing Tyson Tonko in the storyline. I feel like after this match at Backlash, I think Jericho and Christian got injured in those next 2 matches. So another story for another time. Okay, and then we got the women's title match between Victoria and Lita. This was a decent match because, Lita is a high flyer and Victoria, if you don't know Victoria's background before she became a wrestler, she was a bodybuilder. I think she was a bikini competitor. It's the same different stage of bodybuilding. Really good match back and forth between Trish and Victoria. In the end, I think Trish was going for the twist of fate, but instead, Victoria really pinned Lita with the inside cradle to win this match and retain the women's championship. And then afterwards, you got Gail Kim and Molly Holly just beating down Lita and Victoria. And by the way, this was after this pay-per-view was after WrestleMania. This was after when Victoria shaved Molly Holly hair completely bald at WrestleMania. She was wearing like this blonde wig. Before we get to the final 4 matches, there was one segment on the show. You had Eugene. This is Eugene's first pay-per-view appearance. Basically, he showed up in a kind of pit in the girls' locker room. You had Gail Kim and Molly Holly shouting at Eugene. Eugene was reading a magazine, and you got William Regal trying to get him out of the locker room. I thought it was funny. I think the stuff with Regal and Eugene, I think it was funny. And, some of the Eugene stuff, it can be hit or miss sometimes, but sometimes it can be funny. Next match, we got a no holds barred match for the Intercontinental Championship. Randy Orton representing Evolution, defending the belt against Mick Foley. Their rivalry took place, I think it's in the second half of 03, going into the beginning of 04. Basically, Evolution and Randy Orton beating down Mick Foley. Orton getting into Mick Foley's face, spinning his face. I think that the first time he used the punt kick on Mick Foley, punching him in the head down the stairs in a hallway. This match should have done it at WrestleMania instead of doing the handicap match between Evolution, like Orton, Flair, and Batista versus the Rock and Sock Connection. That is Mick Foley and The Rock. That match was mediocre. This match was good, man. This match really set for Randy Orton for life. It really put Randy Orton on the map because, yeah, he debuted in 02. He was part of Evolution, but yeah, he didn't really have his breakout moment. Yeah, he beat Shawn Michaels at Unforgiven 03 and won his first championship against RVD at Armageddon the same year, but it didn't really, there were not really like breakout moments. It's good to get the wins against the, Shawn Michaels, the established star, and RVD. Yeah, he was also an established star, former ECW champion. Yeah, they're not like breakout moments. They were just planting the seeds. Anyway, so yeah, this was fucking good. Like one moment of the match had Mick Foley dressing up as Cactus Jack throwing Randy Orton off a platform. Basically there was a platform underneath the stage. He threw Orton off the stage into this type of platform. There was like a spot with the there was a board with barbed wire, and basically I think like Orton sent Foley into the board with barbed wires. Yeah, Mick Foley grabbing like a barbed wire bat and rubbing it into Randy Orton's face. I think at one more in the match you had Mick Foley trying to set the barbed wire bat on fire. Then you got Eric Bischoff, the Raw GM at the time, trying to be the party pooper, said to Foley, if you use that bat, you're not gonna lose. You're just gonna lose this match. That will be the end of Backlash, and he's gonna get the fire marshal. The fans will boo. Damn shame no asshole chants, because if you watched Eric Bischoff in that period, he was getting a lot of asshole chants. Asshole, asshole. Basically trying to boo Eric Bischoff out of the building, but it's a damn shame. It's a no-holds-barred match, a hardcore match. Foley's not going to kill Randy Orton. He's basically trying to hit the bat, hit him in the gut with the flamed barbed wire bat. Oh yeah, there was the thumbtack spot. I don't like Impact Wrestling, what they do in their hardcore matches. They use the thumbtack spot. I think it kind of ruined its evolution. No. It ruined its feeling, that special moment, its vibe, because they're doing the thumbtack spot every single time. Not all the time, but I feel like I watch a lot of hardcore matches. Sometimes I watch a lot of Impact Wrestling sometimes. If they do a hardcore match, thumbtacks, spot. It gets really ruined. It just doesn't feel special. They keep doing it every single time. I think it was playing out at this point. Anyway, so Orton was going for like an RKO, but instead Foley countered it and kind of sent Orton into the pile of thumbtacks. And Orton was selling it fucking crazy, man. He was selling the thumbtack spot, and they had the camera cut to Randy Orton's back with the thumbtacks like stuck in his back. That is sick, absolutely sick. In the end, I think Orton hit not one but 2 RKOs onto Mick Foley. I think the second RKO, he kind of RKO Mick Foley into the barbed wire bat to win this match and retain the Intercontinental Championship. And then after that, Flair and Batista came out to drag Randy Orton out of the ring. And then there's one scene with Triple H, said to Orton like, you're not become a legend killer, you become the legend. Really, Triple H putting over Randy Orton that well. And very funny, like, they were part Evolution buddies, in the summer. And by the time going in the second half of 2004, they were fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship. Next match, we've got a tag team match. We've got Hurricane and Rosie taking on La Resistance. This is not the original La Resistance. This is the new La Resistance, because, like I said earlier, this is the first pay-per-view after the draft. They not just broke up the world's greatest tag team, that is, Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas. They also broke up La Resistance, the first coronation of La Resistance, that is Rene Dupree and Sylvain Grenier, because Dupree went to SmackDown. So Dupree's substitute was Rob Conway. And here's the catch. Rob Conway, he's not French, he's not Canadian, he's not French Canadian, he's American, he's from Kentucky. And yeah, that second version of La Resistance, that was not that good. Yeah, they won the tag team titles, but yeah, I like the first version of La Resistance, you know, with Grenier and Dupree. You know, Dupree got himself over doing the Fritz Tinkler dance. You know, they matched their characters. You know, the French Canadians in real life. And yeah, they tweet the tag team. They're not from France. They're now hail from Quebec. You know, I like them. They represent France. You know, they're the foreign heels. No disrespect for people from Quebec. You know, they prefer to being French. You know, being the foreign heels. You know, like Canada's also another nation. But anyway, so this tag team match, it wasn't bad, like cringeworthy. It wasn't like super great. It was just like I said, you know, like this is the reason why WWE don't do brand only pay-per-views anymore, because the matches are not really pay-per-view worthy. Some of the matches you probably see on Raw, SmackDown, Heat, or Velocity. And you know, and the end of the match, you had Yuji coming down to the ring. And I don't know why he's coming down to the ring. He was in the ring doing the ropes, you know, balancing one rope to another. You know, if you want, if they, you know, starting the training to become the wrestler, you know, running through the ropes. In the end, yeah, Hurricane hit the eye of the Hurricane. I think it was on Rob Conway to win this match. And here's another catch: the tag team titles were not defended on the show. The three championships were defended on the show. The women's title, the IC title, and the World Heavyweight title. I'll get to that later on. You know, because the tag team champions at the time on Raw was, you know, Evolution. You know, Flair and Batista. Anyway, so the next match, we got Kane versus Edge. This is Edge's first pay-per-view back, because in the winter of 2003, really the early parts of 2003, really Edge's last pay-per-view match was in 2003, was at the 2003 Royal Rumble match. And then originally at No Way Out, he was supposed to compete in a tag team match, so basically like Team Angle versus Brock Lesnar and Chris Benoit and Edge. Unfortunately, they ran Edge off to get surgery because he suffered a neck injury. He ruptured a disc in his neck. So he missed 2 WrestleManias. You know, he missed WrestleMania 19 and WrestleMania 20. He came back the night after WrestleMania 20. And yeah, you know, Edge is from Canada. At least, well, I think Jericho and Christian and Trish, they got some good reaction. But Edge, he has no reaction. I don't know why. I think like Edge was getting stale. And at this point, Kane was, yeah, stale at this point. I think The Undertaker killed his push. Yeah, because, you know, he got beaten by The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That killed his push. Completely dead. Anyway, so, yeah, this match was not a good match. You know, like, I feel like the build to this match, you basically had Kane injured Edge's wrist. And, like, he kind of, you know, because Edge in this match was wearing a red cast around his arm. And Kane was working on the injured arm of Edge. In the end, Edge low blow Kane, well, the referee saw, hit him with the cast, hit him with the spear to win this match. Yeah, and they're trying to give Edge this push. He went on to win the IC title belt from Randy Orton. Yeah, and then here's another catch. By time at SummerSlam of the same year, Edge was booed in his hometown. So if I want to review SummerSlam 04, I will do review of SummerSlam 04 in the near future. So anyway, so the main event, we got a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight Championship. We've got Chris Benoit defending the belt against Triple H and Shawn Michaels. This is their rematch from WrestleMania 20. You know, Benoit won the Rumble in 2004 and went on to win the world title at WrestleMania the same year. And by the way, the Canadian fans were booing Shawn Michaels out of the building. And then when Shawn Michaels locked in the sharpshooter on Benoit, and by the time Earl Hebner came, because there was one spot where the referee got knocked out. Yeah, you know, it's not new in pro wrestling. When by the time Hebner came to the ring, yeah, they were booing more, and also they were chanting "You screw Brett," at both at Shawn Michaels and Earl Hebner. The same two guys who screwed Bret Hart out of the WWF Championship at Survivor Series in '97 in Montreal. Yeah, the Canadian fans were booing Shawn Michaels out of the building. Everything Shawn does, the Canadian fans were booing Shawn Michaels. You know, doing the kick-ups. You know, the fans booed. He's switching Chris Benoit. The fans boo. Breaking up the pins. The fans booing at Shawn Michaels. They're just basically booing out of the building. You know, because, like I said, Shawn screwed Bret out of the championship at Survivor Series '97. Anyway, so... And I think there's one spot then Shawn Michaels did I think it was a moonsault or a crossbody, attempt to do a crossbody on both on Benoit and Triple H. Unfortunately, he crashed into the announce table, the fans cheer. Yeah, this match, the Triple Threat match at WrestleMania, is way better than the Triple Threat match on this show because sequels are nowhere near good as the first one. In the end, Benoit basically catapult or basically slingshot Triple H into the ring post, and he kind of crashed into the crowd. And then Benoit locked in the sharpshooter onto Shawn Michaels, the same sharpshooter that Shawn Michaels locked the hold on Benoit earlier in the match. Shawn Michaels tapped out. Benoit won this, retained the world title. Yeah, this is Edmonton because yeah, he was the hometown boy, and the fans leave the arena happier. So, and you thought this is the end of Triple H time in the world title scene? No, it wasn't. You know, they had the Hell in a Cell match between Shawn Michaels and Triple H at Bad Blood 04. You know, Triple H took a break from the world title scene for one pay-per-view match because Benoit, I think he fought Kane for the title. And then they kind of resumed Triple H back in the world title picture in Vengeance to face Benoit. I think that was disappointing because it was built around of Eugene. So my final rating for Backlash 04, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. This was a fun show. Yeah, the match of the night has to be Foley versus Orton versus Foley for in a no-holds-barred match for the IC title. The opener between Flair and Shelton Benjamin, that was fun to see. And also the main event was also fun between Benoit, Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Yeah, the women's title match between Victoria and Lita, that was decent, but nothing special. Yeah, the tag team match between La Resistance and Hurricane and Rosie, it was just a match you probably see on Raw, SmackDown, Velocity, or Heat. The only bad match, or really the two bad matches on the show, has to be Tajiri and the Coach and Edge versus Kane. So, okay, that's my review of Backlash 04. Hope you like it. Leave your thoughts and comments section below. Smash the like button and subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube for more wrestling videos, live streams and more, and also game streams as well. I've been doing a lot of WWE pay-per-views in the 2000s and the 2010s. The last pay-per-view in the 90s I did was Over the Edge of 1999. The pay-per-view when Owen Hart lost his life. So yeah, let's go. And also the last Attitude Era pay-per-view I did was WrestleMania 2000 or WrestleMania 16. So the next pay-per-view I'm gonna do, this is from 1999. This is a month after the death of Owen Hart. I'm gonna review WWF Fully Loaded 1999, the end of an era. This is the Central Man officially signing out. Check you later.